So this is my iRobot Roomba Combo, and
Error 13. See the app for help.
as you can see, iRobot has made some changes, but not all of them has been good. So let me just show you guys. This is a Roomba 694, and this is a Roomba 675. So both were supposed to be improvements off each other, but basically they're the same exact product. Same exact product here, right? So the same brush roll, the same wheels, the same navigation. It really just came down to they changed the design. So instead of having the buttons there, they just didn't even remove the buttons. They just re-engineered the buttons and put a new slick cover on. If you compare the 694 to the Essentials combo, so we can start really seeing the difference is that they updated the brush roll here. So there's a different brush roll, as well as the dust spin is different because it's been updated. And overall, the buttons have been updated for the new modern designs here. But is it a big difference in terms of the design? We've seen a design like this from iRobot, their combo, for years. I'm talking about for the past 4 years. And this is something from Roborock, which has the mopping, but it has a built-in mopping pad that has the vibra wash, so this can raise itself, it can shake itself, and realistically, this will cost you on sale maybe $300, so maybe $350, which is a lot cheaper US, which is a lot cheaper relative to something like the Essentials combo, which is costing about $250 right now. Also, if you go by overall weight, a unit like the Roborock is so much heavier because it requires a lot more LiDAR and mapping sensors, as you see here. So it has those LiDAR sensors, which is faster acting. iRobot is still using their system, but it's just not the same as LiDAR, and it's just not as fast as LiDAR. Another key thing that a lot of iRobot's competitors, even in their entry models, have been doing is updating the chips. So you get faster performance, everything just links up a little bit faster, and that's to be expected because after all these years, these chips in here have finally gotten fast enough that they can process information quickly. If you really compare the iRobot Essentials to the I series or the J series, there's not a huge difference between the two, except that the iRobot Roombas, the I series and the J series, are way more powerful. They have 10 times the suction of the 600 model, and it looks to me that the iRobot Essentials here is still utilizing about the same motor you would get on the 694. So there hasn't been an improvement in the suction power, not noticeable suction power on this unit. It's just that they've updated the brush roll, and I feel like this is almost a generic Robo Vacuum now from iRobot that utilizes iRobot software more than it is some type of special hardware device that iRobot worked 5-10 years to create. And iRobot came out with an i2, which to me, what I thought was going to be the new entry model line because it has the similar suction power of a I series, but without all the navigation and everything. So because then you're like, why did iRobot come out with the i2 if they were already going to come out with the Essentials? It's just that the i2 didn't come with the mopping, but for all intents and purposes, this is the better vacuum, and it is similarly priced, if not cheaper, than the Essentials. So what's up with that, iRobot? If you look at the differences between the J7 and these updated clean bases that are on the iRobots, just know that the Essentials can never have it because these require the units to have a bin that has a automatic dirt disposal hole. This system is just bringing in a standard charging dock, which is for a lot of people all you're going to need if you don't need those fancy docks that I'm talking about. But this is still going to have a basic design. What iRobot did is that they included an area that you can just tie your cords better, and they have on both sides, because depending on where you want to plug it in, you have these holes that you can just line up your cords. They also added this to the bin. So again, it's more of a gimmick, but you have now a tool that you can lock in. So this is going to be the bin. We just cleaned it. There's still water inside of it. So you have to remember there's no easy way to just empty and clean this all out, but there's a sensor here that's going to line up. If you look right here, there's a sensor that's controlling the drip. So one key thing is here that even if you fill up the entire tank, you probably have enough water for 1,000 square feet, even if you have it on max. And your pad, you're more likely to have the pad fully saturated before this is going to be fully dirty. So keep that in mind. I like to use it on a medium setting, and I never find that I run out of water. I always find that I have to drain it after every use. Here it is. So that's where your battery is going to be housed. We're going to show you the battery here. If you look at this battery, the battery has a capacity of 2400 milliampere hours, or mAh, and it has a rated energy of 34.56 watts per hour. So once you add in the combo bin, it's going to detect it. So there is a sensor, so it says combo bin detected. It's not going to be able to really delineate between where to vacuum and mop. So let's try it out. You can hear how loud it is. So right now, it's vacuuming. And it's just bringing around the mop pad with it. It works in orderly rows, as you can see. Now it's just vacuuming on this high pill, super high pill rug, and it's still able to do it. And Roombas are naturally good, I find, on rugs. So now we have the Roomba in a kitchen, and you can see this is kitchen floor tile. No secret. This is where it should do its best work because this floor is waterproof. In order to do that, we are going to go into our product settings here, and we're just going to make our cleaning preferences liquid amount ultra. So we want a lot, suction high, resuming job, and let's see. You should be able to see how much water it adds now. Another thing that, since it doesn't have sensors, if you do have a stain on the floor, it's not going to make repeat passes, and it's not going to detect them. So you want to also keep that in mind. And also, since it doesn't use LiDAR, you'll find that it is quite good at bumping into stuff. Not as bumpy as you would get on other iRobots, but it still bumps into the ledges much more than before. You can see the water is not completely saturated, the pad. So as a mopping unit, it's just more like a wet jet, Swiffer wet jet. It's not scrubbing, it's not going to capture all the areas. It does leave areas missing sometimes. And it clunks into the baseboards because it doesn't have that LiDAR. So still functional, just not modern, or not the cutting. So the iRobot Roomba is still very functional, it's just not cutting edge anymore. It's just more basic. Hear that dunk? There's also no modes that you can do. There's also no modes that you can just focus on the corners. So some of these other robo vacuums now have modes where it can just be like, hey, I just want to do my edges. I just want to do the centers. I just want to do spirals. So those type of functionality is not on the iRobot Roomba Essentials here. So here you see it doing at the corners. Just running them again just to make sure it picks everything up. Going sideways now, and that's how it works in the grid. It'll go up and down and left and right. So we're currently waiting for our unit to find its base. We place it in the corner of the room. It has been about 10 seconds. It is literally in the corner. It has a direct sight line to its base right there. You can see it is that little black. Why can't you get there? We'll see how long it takes it to. So it has been 5 minutes and it is still trying to locate its base. It's just spinning around being like, how do I get home? So after about 7 minutes, and it is still trapped under my sofa, we're gonna take it out and I'm gonna see if this helps. I'm gonna shut down the entire cleaning session. 1, 2, 3. So that stops the entire cleaning session and we're just gonna send it home again. How do I get home? And I've tried this on 10 different sessions already, and only if it's within a direct sight line and it is relatively close, within about 15 feet from its base, it has a hard time locating it for whatever reason. All right, so we're gonna pick it up again. Now,
Error 13. See the app for help.
it has a direct sight line to its base. Let's see if this works. Now, can you find your base? It's right there. Where are you going? Like right now, it is still cleaning and it's not returning home, which is very weird. So, and it's trying to do all the edges when it should just be trying to return home. So now that it sees it, it can get home. So that seems to be the hardest part. It needs like some direct sight line to the base to locate it properly. So you got to keep that in mind as well. Sometimes it will not get home, and I just find it trapped somewhere because it can't get home. If you get the combo, I do recommend checking out the owner's guide. So we're just going to check out the owner's guide here. The owner's guide is going to give you all the relevant information and that you're going to need to know. So if you're wondering about the cleaning pattern and how you can set it up or how you can decide, your robot will automatically explore and clean your home in neat rows. It will return to the cleaning station or the charging station at the end of a cleaning job. Press the dot button to spot clean a designated area. The robot will spiral outward about 3 feet and then spiral inward to end up where it started. That is very similar to the matrix mode on a Shark. It does come with a do not disturb mode. There's no way to really control like, oh, I just want to do the edges. It really just comes down to you either send it home, you can spot clean, or you can just have it clean everywhere. The IRobot app is very easy to use, and this is what it looks like. So this is on a J9 Plus. Now we're just going to add a new device. So we're going to add your product. It's going to search for nearby products. And you can see that it's found the Roomba Combo Essential robot. Set up, or yes.
Your robot is fully set up and ready to go. Press clean to get to work.
And this is the basic interface. I mean, there's no special interface compared to the others. Because even if you were to look at like a J9 Plus, the J9 Plus's interface is pretty much the same as well. The interface is pretty much the same. You have vacuum and mop everywhere, vacuum everywhere, and create a schedule. So what is the other limitation here is that there is no maps, is that there's no no-go zones, there's no special areas, there's no need for them because it doesn't have those capabilities. Inside the app, you also have the ability to create schedules. So create a new schedule. This is all pretty standard. If you want to make one, you can schedule it. So we can adjust the cleaning preferences inside of settings. So you have your liquid amount. If you want to use Eco, Standard, or Ultra, you have 3 different levels of suction power as well: low, medium, high. This is a no-frills unit. It really just has the ability to you set it, you can vacuum and mop or vacuum. The iRobot is still utilizing the pathing system that you're basically been used to on the iRobot 694. There's no real update on the navigation. iRobot is really trusting that even though they have not joined the LiDAR revolution that everyone else is on, or the AI navigation systems that everyone else are started implementing, they really trust that their in-house system is that good because guess what? So many people have used it that it's trained, but it just doesn't have the same sensor detection like LiDAR. Now, this is enough water, depending on which water level, for about 500 square feet according to iRobot. Now, if you try this out and test it yourself, this is still going to just act as a push brush like this, right? The most current systems now are using not so much focus on this, which is going to be the pad, but it's focused on the clean bases, where the clean bases are now delivering the capabilities of washing it with hot water and hot air drying, as well as removing the mop pads independently of you. So I'm really wondering what iRobot is thinking when they created the iRobot Roomba Combo Essentials. Why? Because they had such a wide lead on all of their competition once they released the S9. The S9 was so advanced compared to everyone else when it came out with the pathing and the suction power that I'm wondering how iRobot has really fallen off on their most basic models. The models that most of us are using, we're not getting the $1,000, $2,000 Robo vacuums, at least not most of us. Most of us are going to be using a $100, $200, $300 Robo vacuum. What iRobot realized is that when they released their combo units, that where you had to change out and switch out the bins every single time you wanted to mop or vacuum, they put everything into one place. But because they put everything into one place, they cannot have this unit with a self-emptying station. Because where could you empty the bin from? There's no area to empty it. So that is pretty much the realization you're seeing iRobot making. They are trying to extend their life cycle of their existing products by making incremental changes and not adapting and not fully embracing AI. It's not fully embracing more detection. Like, they don't have their front-facing cameras going downstream. They still only have them on their J7 and their J9s. You know, they have their J6, which is still the same price as a J7. So iRobot is really making like incremental changes instead of going for the technological change. The biggest risk you have for the iRobot Roomba is really a drop-off in the service levels. As the company is going down, guess what? Well, I can't expect the same customer service. They might not be as responsive. So we're going to monitor this. So if you are keeping your eyes and have your heart set on iRobot, is this the right one to get? Yes, if you're in the $150, $175, maybe even sub $200 camp if you're pushing it, but over $200, absolutely not. I would be a hard pass on the combo unit over $200. And with that, thanks for watching, everybody. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comment box below, and please hit that like or subscribe button. It really does help support our channel. And I'll catch you next time. This is Dave with the French Glow signing off. Bye, bye, bye.